Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. Cindy here from CLB Craft Creations with another card project for you this week. We are using the free Sale-a-bration set Flowering Fields again, just like we did earlier this week. And for our sentiment, I'm using watercolor wings, and we're going to use this sentiment here. And I also am going to be using the free DSP, the Sale-a-bration DSP, which is called Wildflower Fields. And I'm going to give you a quick look just at these so you can kind of get a visual. There are two sheets. I'm showing you the front and back. So as our standard 12 by 12 DSP packs, you get two sheets of each of the one design, or you get basically 24 designs. Just make sure that that's actually correct. You get 12 sheets. So there are 6 designs. But you get 12 sheets of cardstock. So we're going to be using that as well. And some punches, and that should be pretty much it. So let's get started. We're going to start with the measurements. I've got a piece of Whisper White, which is our card base, which is cut at 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25, as usual. I have a piece of Blackberry Bliss, which is cut at 4 by 5.25, standard layering piece. And then I have a piece of that that free DSP that measures 3.5 by 4.75. That's going to layer right on top. And these colors you probably can't see very well, but the colors in this pack are obviously Whisper White, but we have Blackberry Bliss, we have Old Olive, Lost Lagoon. This one I believe is Hello Honey, and then it repeats again with the Blackberry Bliss. But it's gorgeous. Oh, it also has Calypso Coral in it as well. So very fun colors. I'm also going to use another piece of that paper. This piece is cut at 1.75 by 4.75, and we're going to use the triple banner punch to cut that. So let's go ahead and start our stamping. It's actually pretty quick. I'm just going to bring in a piece of scrap Whisper White here, and I'm going to take my sentiment, which is the, what does it say? The little moments with you matter a lot to me. That would be also a nice anniversary or Valentine card. Actually, you know what I'm going to do first? I'm actually going to stamp the back of this piece right here. Just bring in a scrap piece of paper here. And I'm going to bring in Pear Pizzazz, only because somehow my Old Olive stamp pad has walked away. And I think that the Pear Pizzazz is light enough and close enough, for at least for my purposes on this card, to do what I want it to do. So I'm going to stamp this one way, or that direction. I'm going to stamp it 3 times. And then another over here. Okay? And then I'm going to go in with my Blackberry Bliss. But first, before I do that, I want to take my punch, and I'm just going to kind of see how much, like where I want to. So that looks good. So I want to make sure that I put my sentiment right here, in this area here, so that it gets in there. So I'm going to take my sentiment and my Blackberry Bliss ink, and I probably could have stamped those a little higher, but I did want some white space on there. So I'm going to go ahead and then just stamp this right in the middle of all those little stalks. Just give that a press. Beautiful. I love these colors together. And again, I think that this Pear Pizzazz is really, really close to the color in the paper, even though it says that it's Old Olive. So, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and punch that out now with my 1.75 inch circle punch. Get rid of this. We're actually done with all the stamping. So now I can center that up right in the middle. Okay, and then I'm going to take my scallop circle, and I need a piece of Blackberry Bliss for that. Just again a scrap. This is a 2 1/4 inch scallop. Take that out. And then I'm going to bring in my triple banner punch since we're punching. And I'm going to, you can decide obviously if you're using a different pattern, but which way you want. I want the pattern to be going up and down rather than down to up. So I'm just going to slide that into my punch here. And this is not one of the pre-measured marks that it has in here, so all you have to do is just put it in there, and then just make sure that you center that up in between your guides here so that you get the right angle. Okay, and then just give that a punch. Voila. All right, and now we really just need to assemble. Okay, so I'm going to use dimensionals on the back of my stamped piece as well as my scallop. And I'm just using up my scraps here. Okay, so I'm just going to put a piece on the back of there. I'm just going to center that on my Blackberry Bliss scallop circle. Hopefully a little bit better than that. Okay, and then I'm going to take another scrap piece here and just put that on the back of this one. And now that's ready for me to put on my card. Just take some snail and we can start attaching these layers. So attach the Blackberry Bliss. For some reason my tape runner wasn't putting out any tape. Alright, so we're just going to center that on the front. Now we'll take our designer series paper, and you could use either side if you I wanted something a little bit more neutral. So I'm going to go ahead and just use my snail, and I'm going to layer this piece right on top. And again, that's just going to get centered on there. Alright, and now I just need to decide whether or not I want to pop that up or not. Yeah, I think I'm actually just gonna, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave it loose, but I'm just gonna put adhesive right here on the top half. Okay. And then I'm going to add my, oh, you know what, I wanted to do one other thing. I wanted to actually add the heather. I call it heather for some reason. It's just what it reminds me of. I'm going to stamp on the inside of my card too. And I broke my own rule about stamping on the inside after. You always want to stamp your card first before you start assembly, because if you mess it up, then at least you can try and cover it up. Okay, so there, I did that. That's good. And then I'm going to take this piece, take off my dimensional. And then I'm going to center that right up here. I love these colors. And then if you wanted, just for added interest, you could. I'm going to kind of curl it. Obviously, if it goes through the mail, it's not really gonna matter. But I'm just taking a pencil and I'm curling it just to kind of give it some dimension. So there you have it. There's a finished card project. I hope you give it a try. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you liked it. Subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment. And I will see you next week.